Hey lovelies, thanks for stopping by my channel today. I'm excited for today's video. We have another installment of our BYOP challenge. This was created by myself and my wonderful friend Kara from Beauty and the Frizz. We were chatting one day on Marco Polo and just talking about single shadows, how many we have, and trying to get use of them all. And we thought it would be fun to have a monthly theme that we could center a 10-pan palette around. So that's what we've been doing. So if you are new to this, welcome aboard. We hope that this inspires you. If you would like to create a palette, please do so. We would love for you to tag us on social. I do also have a community playlist that will be linked down below if you want to add any of your videos if you are a creator. And besides Kara and I, we have also had Kendra Morgan Official join the BYOP train and a few other creators as well. So make sure to check out that playlist if you want to check in on some of the inspo. That's going to be happening a little bit. I'm going to try to cut out all of the sawing, the hammering, all of the noise, but if I don't, I apologize. Jeremy's got things he needs to get done. I also have to get things done, like hanging out with you and swatching eyeshadow. Which one's more important? You tell me. No, if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on my channel I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Like next month's BYOP, which I will be announcing at the end of this video. So, what is today's theme? Today's video could very likely be a 20-pan palette, a 30-pan palette. It's going to be the shadows that I have never used. Yep, I am going to be bringing you 10 eyeshadows that I have never used on my face. They might be shades that I have swatched, although I do have a few in here that I have never swatched, so we will be diving into them. I cannot wait to see what the other girls bring up. I've noticed that a lot of people have been doing like their basket of shame videos where it's like all the things that I've never used. I don't think I actually even have eyeshadow palettes that I've never used. I definitely have single eyeshadows, but I don't think that I have eyeshadow palettes that I bought and never used. But, you know, single shadows, you buy them, you swatch them, you put them in a palette, and they go wherever they go. And sometimes you just never touch certain ones. So I'm excited to be bringing some of these out. Some of these are ones that I keep meaning to use. There's one in here in particular that I was like, I knew right away that this was gonna be the one that started out the palette. I will share that in a moment, but why don't I just give you a peek here at what we're gonna be working with. These are my 10 shades. Oh, there's one that looks like it's not in there, but it is, if you can see. So these are all shades that I bought. I think they're cute because I bought them. None of these were like included in a mystery bundle or anything. I think I selectively picked out every single one of these shades and then just proceeded to not use them. So that's going to be what we're doing today. What I am going to do is, of course, swatch these, give you the names of them. I will also have them linked down below. And I think I'm going to do 2 looks. Usually for this series, we only do 1 look, but I don't think I could get all of these used in 1 eyeshadow look. So I gotta do 2 looks because the whole point is to use these. So I wanna make sure to use all of these. So I will be creating 2 looks with you today. I will have everything timestamped down below if you wanna jump around. But this is gonna be a little bit longer than I think, so why don't we get into it? All right, I have zoomed you in so that you can see the magic of these shadows. This first one, I'm hoping to be able to give you a beautiful look at the magic of this. This is the one. This is the one that I knew that I was going to have to use. This is Midnight Sun from Divina. This shade is one of those that flips from red to black. As you can see here, you've got the red flip, and then of course it's a black. So here is a little finger swatch so that you can see that. Oh, it's so fun. So this shade is definitely more of like a satin finish. It's not like super sheeny shiny. Well, I mean, it's shiny, but it's not like as like high foil as a lot of other shades are. And I think that's just the nature of this type of shadow. So right there, you can see how this has that red to black shift. It is so stunning. This is one that, I mean, my heart goes pitter patter over it, but I've just never used it because obviously to get the magic of a shade like this, you really need to do it all over the lid, and that means a very dark smoky eye, which is only called for on certain days of the week, whether it means that you just want the time to be able to blend it out properly or you just want to have a moment where you're really wanting to wear something that dark. So anyway, I'm excited to use this one. By the way, I am an affiliate with Divina Cosmetics, so you can always use the code KEEPBEAUTYREAL to save on shades that are applicable. if you are not new to my channel, you will know that I love Divina. I've been obsessed with Divina before I became an affiliate. That shade was gifted to me. So now let's move into a shade by Cliona. This is the shade Yukon, and I pulled this one out because I was like, this is such a fun, I mean, I don't want to say that it's unique because I do think that there are other shades like this one, but it's like an olivey dirty green. It doesn't have like a gold flip to it, but there's something that's a little bit, I don't know, like slightly golden hued, but it almost has like a champagne to it, like a champagne-y. Like when I look at this up close, it almost has like a champagne, almost like a rose goldy champagne cast to it. Yeah, I think like when I look up really close. Anyway, that's one that I haven't used yet. I did buy a couple of their bundles that they did with these round pan shadows earlier in the year, and so that's where that came up. So then this next one that we have is another one from that set. This is Poinsettia or Poinsettia, depending on where you came from and how you pronounce it. I say Poinsettia. You'll have to let me know. Do you say Poinsettia? Is there an actual like proper way to say that? I'm not sure, but I just thought that this would go really nicely with that Midnight Sun shade. And so when I saw it in the pan, I mean, look how intense that is. It's like this kind of like rusty red, so pretty. So I thought it would go really well with this one. So it was a good addition to the palette. And then this is one that I recently got and hauled in my Terra Moons video. This is Palladium. If you know me, I love a good rose gold. I did swatch this and compare it to a couple of the shades from the Divina Moonscapes collection. If you want to see that comparison, I'll make sure to have that video linked down below. But this one is just a beautiful molten metallic rose gold, and I'm excited to use this. I'm sure if I hadn't just gotten my haul in, I probably would have used this one by now, but I was like, okay, I'm saving it for this because look, I mean, she is just so stunning. And by the way, I will be doing some up close looks at these swatches as well in different lights. I just wanted to be able to turn down my lighting so that you could see that Midnight Sun shade. So now moving into this next shade, this is a Pretties for Your Face shade, and this is Mirkwood. I feel like maybe one of the reasons that I haven't used this shade is in the pan, it just looks like a little bit ho-hum. It's really not though. Like once you swatch it, and I think, you know, part of it with these like hand poured and hand pressed shadows, they just have a little bit of irregular texture in the pan. But once you get that like on the finger, it's like, oh my gosh, this shade is so pretty. So this one is definitely more of like a deep teal, I guess I would say. Like it's a bit between like a forest green and a teal. Like, oh, I swatched this when I was like going through all of my shadows. I was trying to pick out a few from each of the brands that I own, and I was like, how did I not ever use that shade? It's so, so pretty. So I do have 3 mattes in this palette, and they are all Divina. I'm just gonna go out and say that right now, partially because I love Divina mattes. They are some of my favorites to use just because they are so like buildable. But in my last Divina order, right around the time that they did the restock, I wanted to get some more mattes. I really do love them. So these mattes I purchased myself, just so that you know, and I have not touched them yet because they were sitting in a box waiting for me for me to have a moment, to organize them all. They still aren't organized, but I did pull them out. So this first one is Thisbe, and this is just such a pretty shade. I think it's gonna go really well with a couple of the shades that I've already swatched. This is almost like stormy teal. Oh my gosh, this is just so, so pretty. So you can see there, that's like gorgeous. So I'm going to swatch this one. So again, like I said, Divina shadows, they're a little bit softer. They are a little bit powdery, but they build up so nicely. So I feel like this is one brand that the shadows swatched on an arm just don't perform the way that they do on the eye. And I'd much rather have them perform on the eye than on my arm, obviously. So this next shade, I love this one. I just had to get it. So this is Zane, and this is actually the namesake of Deandra's cute, cute puppy. And I was like, I have to get Zane's shadow. This is so, so cute. So this is gonna be like I would say this is almost a purple. It's a gray with just like a tiny bit of purple to it, like a purpley blue. It's like a blue, gray, purple. really, truly, I had to go back through and look through a couple of my videos to see the ones that I've used in some other like haul videos, because there was one that I was like, I don't think I've used that one. I'm like, oh, that's right, I did use that one in that look. So I really just went for sure with the ones that I knew that I hadn't used. So I knew I hadn't used any of these mattes because I just got them out of the box, including this one, London Fog. This is very special. I think that this is such a pretty, pretty shade. It reminds me of another shade. I don't know if it was like a paint or it was like another eyeshadow, but there's a shade called Sea Salt. I literally don't know if it was from painting walls or what, but it's this kind of like grayed out lighter teal blue. I thought this would go really well with this palette. If you know me, these are shades that I love. I used to wear a ton of teals on my eyes and I sort of got away from it a little bit. So I feel like it's a shade that I'm like, ooh, pretty, and I'm really drawn to, but then I just don't gravitate towards putting on anymore. So that's probably why some of these haven't been touched yet, but we're gonna change that all today. This is one that I could also put into that group. This is Mint Chocolate Chip from Sydney Grace. And I think that that's the perfect name for it. It is totally that like mint ice cream kind of like green, like a more like natural mint ice cream, not like the like super like pale lime green mint green. So this is, again, one that I think is just going to go really pretty with some of these other shades. I mean, look at the reflection on that. Man, you just cannot beat Sydney Grace shimmers, I swear. And then for our last shade, this is from Copacetic Cosmetics. This is Kitty, and this was in a bundle that I bought. I think this might have actually been, was it in a bundle? It might not have actually been in a bundle. It might have been one that I just bought, but I thought it was in a bundle that I purchased from Copacetic. I've purchased a couple bundles from them. This one has a bit of a duochrome shift to it. It's a little bit more of a satin duochrome. It's not gonna be like overly blow your socks off, but I think this could be really good for an inner corner. It probably will make a good topper shade as well. So there you can see that there. Let me see on my finger, kind of like spread out, if I can give you the vibe for this shadow. So this one is the Sydney Grace one, and then this one here is the one from Copacetic. That is Kitty. So I am going to give you a little up close look, and I'll play with the lighting to give you the best view of these swatches as I can. All right, so here you can see that shift on Midnight Sun. I have my lights turned down pretty low so that you can get that. So you have that beautiful like red to black. It's so cool. It's just one that's going to be really fun to have all over the lid. And then here we have the shade Yukon from Cleona. We have Poinsettia from Cleona. Terra Moon's Palladium, Mirkwood from Pretties for Your Face. By the way, I'm not even sure if I actually said the name of the shade when I was talking about it. It's Mirkwood. And then here we have the shade Thisbe from Divina, Zane from Divina, London Fog from Divina, and then here is Mint Chocolate Chip from Sydney Grace, and then this one is Kitty from Copacetic Cosmetics. I'm trying to like see if you can see that shift at all. It's like, it's a really subtle one. It's just like a little bit of like an iridescent light blue, maybe even just like a little bit of like a violety periwinkle in there with that teal. So not that these are all of the shadows that I have never used, but I have never used any of these, and we're going to change that right now. All right, so my camera cut out for a little bit. I just wanted to let you know that I started by priming my eyes with the Jason Wu Prime Eye, and then I'm taking that Pretties for Your Face shade Mirkwood, and I'm just putting that on the outer area of my lid. I am wetting my brush to try to avoid any fallout since I have most of my face done. I don't have any concealer on because I figured, well, this way if I need to, I can clean up right here and hopefully just pop on some concealer and hide anything that had happened. We will see. I'm really liking this color though. It's very pretty. As I believe I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I am going to yoga tonight, so I'm trying not to get too crazy. We will see. I'm gonna head into Mint Chocolate Chip from Sydney Grace. That's gonna be what I pop on like the inner part of my lid. Oh my gosh, like I don't know if you guys can see the magic of that, but it is so foiled. I need to pull out my Sydney Grace more often. Okay, so then I'm just wiping off that brush, and I'm just gonna take on a dry brush a little bit of that Mirkwood and just kind of like tap it to try to like blend out anywhere that there's an edge between those two shadows. That's super, super pretty. Then I'm going to take London Fog from Divina. This shade is another one that I think I'll actually use quite a bit. It's coming up a little bit darker than I thought, and that honestly might be because my skin is maybe a little bit damp from where I put that Sydney Gray shadow on. But like I said, these shades are so like buildable that I really do think you could actually get like a decent amount of intensity from this, even though it looks like such a pale, almost like a grayed out version of a pastel in the pan, but it's very, very pretty. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take a tiny bit of that Thisbe shade and just place it like right in the outer corner right here. Just to like deepen that and like mattify that outer corner, because I did take that Mirkwood shade like out quite a bit, but I think I just want the outer corner to be matte. All right, well, we're gonna have some drama for yoga class. I am actually going into the salon for a little bit today, so I'll feel like made up for that, but I don't usually wash my face off for yoga, so I'm okay with that. All right, so I think I just want to take a brush into that London Fog, like a little fluffy one. This is like one of those unicorn brushes that I think I got randomly at like Walgreens. I don't even think that they had like a brand name on them. I don't even remember anymore, but I do actually like these and they're really pretty. A couple of them broke, and so I only have a couple left, but they're fun. Okay, I like that. It's just a little bit more rather than, you know what I'm saying? All right, I think we just need to go clean up here. Luckily, there is not a lot of fallout. Hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. And then we'll go through and of course do the lower lash line, do a little inner corner fun. So I'm still not sure what I'm gonna do here, to be honest, but I'm looking forward to whatever happens. Okay, so I very quickly just ran some concealer on. I probably could have done more. I feel like my inner corner is a little bit dark today. It's probably because I've been traveling and not sleeping. Work's been a little cray, so what are you gonna do? I could try harder, but I don't feel like it. So I'm gonna take, I really wanna use, okay, so I think I wanna use Palladium as an inner corner. Is that gonna be like too dark? I'm afraid that that's gonna be too dark. Yeah, I think that is what that's gonna do, is that thing where, oh, maybe not if I shear it out. Okay, I talk about this a lot, where if you have something that's highly metallic, and you pop it on the inner corner, when it's not hitting the light, it's gonna look dark. So it's not gonna be a very good inner corner. But I feel like if I shear this out enough, it isn't gonna be too dark. And kind of regretting that. Okay, I don't want that to happen, so I'm gonna use it on the lower inner part first, just to see, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I kind of like it as just a little whisper underneath the lash line. I think I have a rose gold liner that I can pop in my waterline, so that'll kind of go with that. I probably could have used it on the inner corner, but it would have been just more like, almost like glitter or sparkle. If you use these dry, they have just like quite a bit of like sparkle. If you use it wet, it's gonna look more molten and metallic, but I think that that would have made that look deeper. So I'm gonna just finish up over here, and then we're gonna use Kitty on the inner corner. I think that'll be fun. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's not the cleanest application of a sparkly shadow that I've ever done on my lower lash line. It sort of looks like fairies went dancing on my lower lash line and just like left a trail of sparkle there, but it's also a little bit kind of whimsical and fresh, so I'm here for that. Now we're gonna go ahead and take that Kitty shade on our inner corner. I'm gonna start with it dry, just because I have a feeling this might be one of those shadows that if I wet it, it's gonna do that milky thing that I don't like. So we're gonna pop this on. What do I have here? A Spectrum and KJH 16 brush. Ooh, okay. Okay, I like this. I don't think that this is the perfect brush for this, but I like the shadow. I probably should have used this for my lower lash line and the pencil brush for my inner corner, but next time. Okay, so this shade is so fun. I have to say that Copacetic is one of those brands that, for me, there's like a textural thing to a lot of their shadows. One of the collections that I got, the Doctor Who collection, was quite flaky. You can definitely work with it, but it had some flakiness to it. So I really haven't reached for those a lot. And then this other collection was more like iridescent-y shades, and I really like this. I really like this a lot. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to pull this one out more. See, this is what I like about doing this, because if I have ever used this one, I certainly don't remember it, but now I'm gonna remember it as being a beautiful inner corner shade. So let's go ahead and finish up. I'm gonna use a rose gold on the lash line. Who knows, I might even put a little liner on the top and then mascara. I'll be right back. Okay, here we have the final eye look. I really like this. I think the reason that I don't go towards wearing teals anymore is it makes my eyes look more brown, and I just prefer them to look more green. Like, I have that sort of like green, brown, hazel thing going on to my eyes, I think, and I like it when I wear colors that bring out the green, the difference in that, as opposed to the brown. So that's just me, but I think this looks good. I will definitely be using these shades more. Like, I really, really like this. I am just gonna throw on a little bit of this. I have this Orgasm Afterglow Lip Balm. I don't really want anything like too crazy going on, but this is, I think this is one of those like, supposed to like change with your pH bullshit. I don't think that that actually works. I don't know. I think it's like, I do think it changes once it hits your skin. I don't know that it necessarily has anything to do with pH. That's a really, really loud airplane right now. Yep, that's gonna be enough for me, just a little bit of a pink. So you'll have to let me know what you think. Should I be wearing more teal eyeshadow? I'm really gonna be curious to know your thoughts on this one, but I think we found some gems. So I hope that you enjoyed this one. I'm excited for tomorrow to do some dark, dark, smoky-eyed business. So without further ado, let's go say hi to Kelly from tomorrow morning. Well, hello and good morning. It is about 6:30 in the morning. I'm here with my collagen cappuccino, if you will, and it is freezing. It is freezing out. Right and now at this moment, it is under 30 degrees. Can that be right? Good God. No, it is exactly 30 degrees. It is the end of April and it's 30 degrees. I'm freezing, hence the warm drink. I wish I could be in spring mode, but the one thing about this weather is it definitely makes me ready for a deep, vampy look. So that is going to be what we're doing today, and I'm excited to get in. What the hell? I think I'm going to try it. I think I want to use this Thisbe shade, this more like teal shade in the crease with this. I'm just wondering how that's going to work out with this poinsettia. Nah, that's going to work. That's a good color story. Okay, we're just going to go for it. I mean, it's just makeup after all. I do have to go to work after this, but it's just makeup. So let's see. We're going to go through with a little brush and just start with Thisbe. So I'm using the Spectrum and KJH19, and I'm just gonna see where this takes us. As I'm getting into this, I may be realizing that today would have been a good day to do one eye and then the other. I really don't usually work that way because, in all honesty, a lot of times I'm using the same brush. This might sound lazy, but a lot of the times I'm using the same brush and I'm just kind of like wiping it off, and obviously that doesn't necessarily work when you're going from eye to eye. The brush is like super murky by the end, but I just also find that it's a little bit more balanced going from side to side. But if I had done that and something didn't work out, I could have started over again. Although I don't think I necessarily have time for that this morning. Okay, now might as well just dive in. I'm gonna take that Midnight Sun shade on a Rephr 21 and I'm gonna use it damp so that we can get the most intensity out of this one. And we're gonna place that all over the lid. Okay, I can already say that I regret not using this more. And I feel like for me, this is definitely like a fall and winter color, not just because it's so dark, but just the rich like tones that it has, obviously with that like red shift. So I will definitely be getting more use of this one in the fall and winter, but this is fun to play with right now. Okay, I'm gonna take the Blend Bunny B2 with Midnight Sun, just dry, and I'm going to like work it just right at that edge. I might have just been able to use this almost like as a satin matte, just to blend these two together. I didn't even think about that because I bet as you buff it and buff it, you're not even gonna see much of that shine anymore. So it would just be like a dusty black, I bet. Dang it, I really like the way that looks, and now I wish that I had used Zane, that like kind of like purpley blue-gray. I wish that I had used that one in yesterday's look, because now I don't want to use it in today's because I'm liking this like green and red moment. I'm just using a little bit more of that Thisbe shade right where those two shades meet. All right, here's what we have so far. Hopefully you can see that just a little bit. I can turn this down a smidge. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and do some up close footage. Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. So I think what I wanna do now is go ahead and do the rest of my makeup so that I can get a feel for the balance of how I want to do my lower lash line. I have a feeling today I'm going to require a lot of bronzer just to kind of balance this out. Other than that, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, but I will be back. I have a feeling today might be a lashes day too, so we'll see. I'm feeling a little bit better. What do you guys think? A little bit of bronzer, a lot of bit of bronzer helped. I just pulled out this Capri Coast from Becca. This was in my drawer of shame, so I must have at some point pulled it out. Wasn't sure if I was gonna keep it or not. It's obviously just a little sample size, but this is that Capri Coast shade that was super popular for a while. So I think I actually, when Becca was going out of business and everything was on sale, I almost bought one and I was like, pretty sure you have one in your collection somewhere that you haven't really touched much. Also, just a little heads up, my foundation today is a combination of the Bite Changemaker and the MAC Studio Water Weight Foundation. So, and I've really been enjoying using the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear Concealer. So that's what we have on. I didn't put on any blush. I felt like this bronzer really worked as a good, like, what are we calling that? Blonzer? Yeah, it worked as a good blonzer. I haven't committed to a lip yet because I'm still not quite sure what we're gonna end up with, and a highlight. I think I wanna put on a cream highlight, and I wanna be able to whisk away fallout if we end up getting any. So that's where we are so far. Okay, so I need to do an inner corner shade, and I think to be able to use everything in this palette, that's gonna have to be this, what is this one called? Yukon. So it's gonna be that like goldy green shade. I mean, that's probably not what I would normally use as a inner corner, but we're gonna give this a go and see how it looks. This is definitely not an inner corner highlight, but it is an inner corner shade, so I'm just gonna pop a little bit in here. Oh, I don't like that. That took it too far. Hold on. Okay, I can't do it. I cannot do that shade. I really wanted to use every shade in this palette, but that one's not going on the Facce today. So, since we are probably not going to be using Zane and we're probably not going to be using Yukon, that means that I need to maybe do one more look on Instagram, because I feel like I just love this look so much that I don't want to mess it up. Sorry, on another pencil brush, I'm going to take that poinsettia shade. That's that like burnt red, and that's going to be what I put on the lower lash line. I'm going to try to get like super close to my lash line though, because I don't want to look too eye infection-y. Okay, actually blowing that out just a little bit more made it a little bit more purposeful, so I did just go a little bit whiter than what I thought I was going to do. That's whiter, not whiter. And I'm taking a little bit of Midnight Sun just in this outer corner here. Oh, this shade is so amazing. So what I am gonna do is I'm gonna tap just the tiniest amount of Palladium on as our inner corner. That's that rose gold metallic from Terra Moons. All right, here we are with the final look. I love this so much, but I think it's gonna look even better with some lashes on. I'll figure out what the heck I'm gonna do for my lips, and I will give you guys, like I said, I'm gonna try to get a couple up close shots of this eye look just because I think the shifty magic is just so fun. So I will do that for you and I'll be back. All right, just one more peek at this second look. I love this. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on what I ended up going through with. So I did decide on, I was digging through my drawer of shame over here and I found some lipsticks that I haven't worn in a while. So I went through with Lisa Eldridge Velvet Petal. I can't believe I haven't been wearing this one. This is so, so pretty. So I have to remember her for spring. And I did go ahead and throw on some lashes, as I'm sure you saw in that footage. These are the Lash Couture Foam Ink collection from Kiss. This is the style Jubilee. I like these. I like the lash itself. The band is that like very thick clear band, so you can kind of see it. I actually haven't gone over it with black liner yet, but I'm definitely gonna need to do that. I used these on a bride over the weekend and I was like, oh, yeah, I gotta get a little extra liner on. But I think that these are just like a really nice, like just enough lash. I thought I have some big daddy lashes and I was like, ooh, I could pull out some like really fun, like chunky, thicker ones, but then you wouldn't have seen the magic of the shadow, right? I did go ahead and add just a smidge of highlight. I put like a pinprick's worth of pyrite, the Auric Glow Lust and Pyrite on my skin, and it really is like almost just my skin tone, but it makes it a little bit glossier. I didn't want anything super crazy. I feel like this look is already like so glam that too much highlight would just take it over the top for me. But that is this look. I am loving this one. Like I said, I'm sorry there were 2 shades in here that I didn't end up using. I still think that's pretty good. 8 out of 10, that's not bad. I really loved both of the looks, and that's really, at the end of the day, what's most important. But I really want to use those other 2 shades too, so I'm sure I'll be creating one more look with this palette on Instagram in the next couple weeks. And we'll have to see what that one looks like, because this was a lot of fun to just sit down and have a little makeup play date. All right, I'm just realizing that I never reset my lighting after filming those swatches, so hopefully the first application you were able to see well, but I really do enjoy this look. I'm sure I will have told you how I feel about look number 2. I hope you enjoyed getting to see 2 looks in this video. I just figured since this is a palette of shades that I haven't used, I couldn't swatch them and then again not use any of them. I had to use them all. So thank you all so much for hanging out. Don't forget to stop by Kendra and Kara's channel. If there's anyone else that I know that is doing this video, I will also have them linked down below. I know that Lock Maiden has hopped in on some of these, so I'm really enjoying doing this and I hope that you are all as well. I hope that this inspires you to pull out some of your single shadows. Let me know, do you have any singles that you have not used yet? I know we all like swatch them and want to touch them right away, but do you have some in your collection that you haven't used on your face yet? So for next month, we are gonna be pulling out all of the shifties. Yes, it is going to be multi-chrome madness. So we are going to be pulling out all of our favorite multi-chromes, pulling together some of those special shifty, shiny shades. I'm excited for this one. I am probably gonna be covered in swatches because for me to only pick 10 shades, well, I can't even pick my top 10 because I'm not gonna pull a Cleona and do a palette with all shimmers. I'm gonna have to pop in a couple mattes just to make it a cohesive palette to me. So, oh man, like a top 8, a top 7. Oh my gosh, I gotta start preparing now. But that's gonna be what's up for next month. Make sure that you are subscribed here to my channel so you don't miss out. Thank you all so very much. It means so much to me that you take some time out of your day to spend it with me, and I'll see you really soon.